Hey guys, it's Britt and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make our gluten-free, 2-ingredient, whole food plant-based, thin crust pizza. It is so easy and simple. We're doing a white pizza today and I just love this. It's so quick to whip up. It's our favorite way to enjoy Friday night, movie night, and you guys are going to love it. So you can make individual pizzas, you can make one really big pizza. We generally make 2 medium-sized pizzas from this recipe. And all of the measurements and everything is linked down below in our description box. So make sure you check it out and watch the rest of this video to see how we do it. But we've been doing this ever since we've started whole food plant-based. It's just such an easy way to whip up crust on the fly, and you can do it with lots of different grains it works with. Our favorite one is doing it with this red quinoa, and so the crust may look a little bit browner because we used red quinoa for this, but you can use it doesn't matter for the taste. It's nice and soft still, it's not burnt, and you can do it with other grains that you guys have in your house. So shout out to Heidi who reminded us of I haven't done a video on this yet, and so it's so simple. I wanted to put one out real quick for you, so this video is not going to be long, and yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to try it. Starting in our high-speed blender, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of water, and we're also going to add 1 1/4 cup of a raw grain. Sounds similar, right? This is our exact cracker recipe that we make into a pizza crust. So right here I have 1 1/4 of a raw red quinoa. Don't use cooked grains, use the raw ones. We're going to cook it when we make it into our pizza crust. And I'm just adding that into our water. You can also pre-soak your grains if you'd like. That's optional. I pre-soaked these in the morning so they were ready to go. And I'm going to add a seasoning. So this is very, very similar to our cracker recipe. I'm just kidding, it's exactly the same, but it makes a fantastic pizza crust, so I'm so excited for you guys to try it. And try this recipe with red quinoa, it's my favorite. Alright, so we're going to add 2 tablespoons of pizza seasoning. Add some seasoning to your pizza crust. It makes all the difference. I especially like adding 2 tablespoons of this pizza seasoning that we have. It adds so much more flavor, but you can play around if you want to put some nutritional yeast, if you want to put garlic and onion, play around with whatever you like. And you just want to blend it until it comes together like pancake batter. You can see the difference from the first time I blend it and when I let it go for a while. That's the consistency that you really, really are looking for. We just let it go for just a couple minutes. It doesn't take that long. Let it go on high and then you guys will see it. It should still be pourable, but should definitely resemble pancake batter. Another thing that I love about this recipe is that if you ended up adding in too much water for some chance, you can always add in a little bit of the extra grains to kind of balance it out. If it's too thick, you can add some water to thin it out. So you can kind of eyeball it to kind of see. But that is the perfect consistency that I was looking for. Go ahead and grab a pizza pan. We line it with parchment paper. It just makes cleanup a whole lot easier. So I have one that I cut out, not the greatest, but it did the job. And then go ahead and spoon on your crust mixture. Again, we used raw grains. I got that question a lot in the cracker recipe. And you're going to cook it when you put it in the oven now. And I like to do 2 medium-sized pizzas with this amount. So I do his and her pizzas because Mark really likes spicy foods and I'm not a huge spicy person. So on his, generally we'll put some red pepper flakes or he'll do something to it that he likes. We like different vegetables, so it kind of varies. So I usually do a circle one for me, and as thin as you want the batter to be is how long it's going to take to cook. So if you end up making a thick batter or like one really, really large pizza, it might take a little bit longer. Here I'm kind of evening it out and it's more on the thinner side. This took really no time to bake. It only took 10 minutes at 350 degrees and you can tell when it's done. If it looks wet on top, it might need a little bit longer. When I go and show you the other pizza I did, that one took 20 minutes, but it was a little bit of a thicker crust. So it just kind of depends. I would say at 10 minutes check it, and it could take anywhere up to 25. So that's a large time to be, but it all depends on like the grain you use and how thin you spread it. But you'll be able to tell when it's finished. So this went into the oven, again, 350 degrees for 10 minutes. And you'll see it got nice and brown and beautiful. Perfect. You also should be able to pull it away from your parchment paper really easily. It makes a fantastic wrap. A lot of the time we will have this as a vegetable wrap as well. But for our pizza today, I wanted to do a white pizza. And anytime I do a white pizza, I make our spinach and artichoke dip recipe from our page. So I did that today. I cooked it on the stove. And before you go and put it in the oven, you can just add it to your pizza. And so I did that right here. So you can, of course, you can leave out the artichokes and add double amount of spinach if you're not an artichoke fan. You also can make the swap for raw cashews in this ingredients list. I did white beans today. And so I will leave all of the measurements and everything in the link and all of that, how to make our spinach and artichoke dip. It is so good on a pizza. So I just kind of spread it out, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to broil our pizza for 4 minutes on medium heat in my Broil Smart Oven Air. So you can pop it back into the oven, broil it just to get it nice and brown on top, and then it's done. Everything is already cooked, so you obviously won't get sick from eating it, even if you just ate it like that. But I just like when it gets nice and brown and warmed through. Alright, so this was my husband's pizza. It's a little bit bigger. Like I said, this one took 20 minutes at 350 degrees because it's a little bit thicker. Worked perfect. And then I just dumped the rest of that spinach dip on top of our pizza crust. And again, I broiled it for 4 minutes on medium heat. Just watch it in the broiler. It's always a smart idea to watch whatever you're going to cook on broil heat. But it really does get a nice brown coloring to it, and you'll see when I pull it from the oven. You can also add any vegetables that you like to this if you want to add some extra ones. Sometimes we'll do broccoli or some cut up tomatoes. So really experiment and make it your own. And this has been my favorite over red pizza lately. You also can use this crust, of course, and do a red pizza and put whatever you like on your vegetable pizza. We just have been loving this white spinach and artichoke dip. So see, it's so good already. Looks amazing. We ate this really quick. It was so good. Alright, so you can see it got nice and brown. It's beautifully done. That's the coloring you're looking for. Doesn't take long. And it cuts so easily that you guys can just get a pizza cutter and cut up your pizza. Another thing we like to do is that if you have kids or anything, or nieces and nephews that you have over, is you can do a pizza party and kind of let them assemble it once you've made the crust. It really is a lot of fun. You can do lots of different things. Like I said, this one makes 2 kind of medium-sized pizza crusts, but you can make smaller ones or 1 large one. And you can make them ahead of time too, which is really nice. So you can see I'm cutting into it. Cuts really nice, and it was so delicious. This is seriously one of my favorite ways to eat pizza and to make wraps. You guys are going to love it. It is so good. And try it with the red quinoa. That's been my favorite way, or any kind of quinoa. That's usually the grain I'll go to for making the pizza crust. Hope you guys enjoy it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our recipe video. We love this recipe. Our favorite way is using the red quinoa, but you can use any grain that you have. It's delicious. We do a red sauce with it. We also put tomatoes on it sometimes, so you can always change it up. The spinach and artichoke dip is my all-time favorite, and if you're not an artichoke fan, just leave it out and make it double the spinach. It's so easy and simple, and you guys are going to love it. So I'm going to super nice and soft and delicious, and I love it. Oh, so good. So make sure you give this a try. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys very soon for the next one, but Friday night just got a lot more exciting.